So hi everyone, and thank you for joining for Thankful Thursday. I hope everyone is doing mighty fine today. And so I'm Ashley Lynn Caputo. Amy Fiorentino can't be here with us today. So we're going to do some chair yoga. And if you guys have any topics or something like meditation, kind of anything like that, feel free to type it up there and, we can do that next week. So I want to also mention that if you're not available or you know someone who would like to be here, but they can't make this time frame, no worries. We do load these up onto my YouTube channel, which is Ashley Lynn Caputo. So they're available there for free all the time. And that's obviously Ashley Lynn Caputo. And what else did I want to say? So you need a chair if you're just use a couch. It's better if you have kind of a little bit of a sturdy chair. It's just a regular metal chair. I don't really need any other props. I have some, because I always do. I use it more as a table half the time, though, as you can see. So I also want to mention that today I put some doTERRA Anchor. It's a very nice anchoring kind of scent in the diffuser. And then I put some Brave. I rolled on Brave. So Brave, it comes in the kids blend, and it's the courage blend. So for a new or different situation. And it comes in this bag. I love this bag. So it's for kids, but hey, we're all kids at heart. It was a nice oil for a practice on kind of just having courage through changing times. And so we want to get a little bit of movement in the body, a little bit of relaxation, everything. But we don't want to go crazy just because things are starting to open up. We want to get into a gentle practice. So you can have a chair yoga practice even if you're capable of doing all the other, more vigorous kind of practices. Or you can use a chair yoga class if you have some kind of injury or something that limits you from doing that. So there are more vigorous chair practices. And this one's going to be pretty simple. But just mind if anything doesn't feel good. Yoga is all about feeling good. So don't do anything too strenuous and honor your own body. So I'll give you a moment if you need to there, get in your chair, settle into it. And then we're just going to take a few nice deep breaths to ground ourselves down. We're going to take our index fingers on both hands. We're going to bring them into the second digit of the thumb. So it looks kind of not quite the OK symbol, but all the way in as far as it can go. And you can just rest your hands on your thighs, your knees, wherever if you're on the couch, wherever you comfortably come to. If you like, maybe you soften the gaze a little bit, or you can close them down all the way. And just begin to take a few of those nice, deep, three-part or yogic breaths. We call it Dirga breathing, where you inhale, fill the belly into the rib cage, and then all the way up to the collarbones. That's one inhale. On your exhale, reverse the direction. Draw the navel muscles slightly in, slightly up. That compresses your vagus nerve, bringing you into that rest and digest. Just do that a few more times. Nice, deep breathing. That's right. So as you breathe, you can keep your eyes closed or open them if you like. I'm just going to read you a little meditation I wrote. It's actually going to be part of a meditation book that I'm coming out with soon. And this one's going to be on courage. So this topic, not the whole book. The whole book has a different topic every week. But anyway, with the hands in that position, you can always release them if they're uncomfortable. Just continue to take those deep breaths and know that this hand position in yoga is known as Metta Prana Kriya Mudra. Mudra's hand position for our intents today, which means the gesture of mental vigor for welcoming in thoughts and feelings. Yeah. And so I already said we're going to anchor in with, that oil Brave. And so just breathing here, knowing that holding this hand position or mudra is going to open and balance your heart chakra, center of unconditional love for yourself and for others. It's going to allow your breath to flow through your rib cage, moving things through the middle back, rib cage, lungs. It's going to stimulate your thymus glands. It's going to be good for immunity, and it's going to aid in the support of the respiratory, not only immune, but also your cardiovascular systems of the body. This is something we can all use now as we start to possibly think about going back into the world out there, right? This is going to assist us in opening up to thoughts and feelings without attachment, without clinging as well. And so as you're sitting there breathing, perhaps you might say to yourself silently this following mantra: I easily allow thoughts and feelings to move through my mind without attachment. I easily allow thoughts and feelings to move through my mind without attachment. That's right. Rilke said, I want to unfold. Let no place in me hold itself closed, for where I am closed, I am false. I want to stay clear in your sight. And isn't it interesting, I wonder if you already know, that having courage doesn't mean we do not experience fear. It does not mean that we do not feel anxious regarding change. Courage means doing things despite having fear or anxiety. You know, spring itself is a time of transformation, a time of change, of rebirth. And Mother Nature gracefully teaches us how to just allow things to unfold in our lives as we continue to show up with our intentions. So I'd like to invite you to breathe now into anything that you might feel a little anxious about or any resistance towards. And just letting it be there. That's right, allowing. And as you let yourself feel it, just allow the body to relax. Continue those deep breathings. Softening even the muscles of the face. You know, sometimes we tense up our jaw, and that's attached to our pelvic floor. And that just sets us up for that fight or flight. So just relaxing the face, the jaw, and feel the brightness of your own heart. Always there, always shining, always supporting you, guiding you when you do take the time to tap into it. And so breathe into this love now, this innate guide, and move this energy. It's always there, that's always yours. This feeling toward anything you might harbor any anxiety or fear towards, just sending that out there. And that's right. Nice. And so, you know, you can pause and do this throughout your practice or throughout the day, anytime in life you like. All right? And then gently release the hands. Maybe give them a little shake out. Maybe you stretch and open up your eyes and come on back. And that was not the yoga practice yet. That was just our opening meditation. So I will be having a book coming out soon with a weekly meditation. And it uses hypnotic language patterns. So, and thank you all for being here today, because we're in my newly remodeled, thanks to all the time at home, yoga studio. And this is Unwind the Mind Hypnosis and Wellness. And our trademark was official yesterday. So Unwind the Mind HypnoYoga is now registered. So this book is going to be part of all of that good stuff to come. And I also want to mention that I do have a meetup group called Unwind the Mind HypnoYoga So it's in the Tampa Bay area, but we're doing so many things online now that feel free to, you'll have to, I think, type in Tampa to find us, or you could just go to the website, which is unwindthemind.biz, and look at the part for that. Alrighty, so I think that's about all we have for my little announcements there. So you're going to want to come to a comfortable place in your chair, so you're not all the way to the back, but you're not going to tip over or anything. You want to have your feet a little bit of a distance apart there, and still lengthen up through your spine, so you're not arching your back yet. You want a nice flat, straight up and down spine. So we're going to take it nice and easy, because gosh, it's been a stressful week sometimes, right? I know. So all this change. So we're just going to start to rotate one ankle. Do you hear mine pop already? I have a client who has nightmares about my toes popping. Former dancers' toes creak a lot. And then rotate it the opposite way. And then we'll warming up the feet. We can do the wrist at the same time, actually. In Chinese medicine, they say you have to open up the wrist and the ankles before you can move through the rest of the body. And just give your hands a little shake. Nice. So now we're just going to gently tilt our head. I'm going to do the right. I know Facebook is like backwards or something, but just go towards your right. Either way, you'll be fine. We're going to do both sides. Take a couple breaths here. So you're going to feel that stretch on the side that's lengthening. So I'm tilting my head to the right, but the stretch is really happening more on the left. You want to make sure your shoulder's not coming up. You want to have that good posture, but just breathe into it. Now, if you have anything going on with your neck, honor that, of course. If not, then go ahead and bring your chin down towards your chest, and you can either hold still here or make little tiny micro movements here. Just waking it up, giving it some love. And tilt your head in the opposite way. So for me, that's the left, and I'm feeling the stretch on the right side of my neck here. And I'm taking those nice deep breaths. They'd be deeper if I wasn't trying to talk at the same time. Right. And then bring the head back up. So we're just going to gently begin to roll the shoulders back and down. This seems very, very slow-paced and very easy compared to some of the stuff we do. And, you know, sometimes, even if you have an active practice, taking a little time to make these slow movements can teach you a lot, or it can really be very supportive to the body and nurturing. All right, and then rotate opposite, so you're going to roll them forward. So a lot of times when we do chair yoga, we do kind of a lot of little joint movements, which is good for us. All right, and then we're going to bring our hands up to our shoulders if that's available to you. And we're going to rotate the elbows back. So we're going nice and slow so you can feel the difference. This kind of opens up the pectoral muscles, pectoralis here. You can kind of feel your shoulder blades squeezing together behind you. It's very heart opening when you're rotating backwards, which is nice. And now we can rotate forwards. And notice if you hunch over at all. We all have been doing a lot of this, the Zoom stuff, right? So sometimes the posture gets affected by that. I know I'm guilty of it myself. I find it very challenging to sit upright anymore when I'm not actually doing yoga because the computer is just so, it's like, ugh. All right. And then go ahead and stretch them back one more time. Really feel your chest and heart opening here. Nice. And then release anything you need to release there. So now I'm going to turn sideways. You don't have to, just so you can see. We'll do a few cat-cows. So the spine should be nice and straight. You're going to exhale, draw your belly button in and round. Round it as far as you can. Really exaggerate that. And then on your inhale, arch as far as you can. Mind your body, so if you have anything going on, honor that, but this is generally a nice practice. I actually, when we were all out and about all the time, I used to teach a little bit of car yoga, where I would have people do this for lower back pain and stuff. And, you know, it's so much better to do a couple cat stretches, only at red light, mind you, than to get all aggravated that you got that red light. So just a couple more, going as fast or slow. It matches, the movement matches your breath, so that rounding, that's your cat. It looks like a scary Halloween cat. And the inhale is cow. And one last one. Gosh, that feels so lovely. Nice. And then coming back to your regular straight up posture. So here we're just going to kind of rotate our ribs around a little bit. And it can be real small, or if you're feeling like it might be nice to go a little bit bigger, you can go fast or slow. Your body's going to intuitively kind of know what feels good. And so that is the yoga in the movement. And then reverse that direction. Beautiful. So you might part your feet a little bit wider. You can turn the feet out a little bit for this one if you like. You're going to be in a comfortable stance though. So sometimes I have a wider stance from being a dancer in the past, but you want to make sure you're comfortable. Your knees go over your toes in yoga. They're not pushing forward. So whatever's comfortable for you. And again, I think we'll be opposite. Facebook always confuses me because I'm used to mirroring students, but I think I would have to double reverse something. So I'm going to press my left shoulder forward just to what feels good to me. And I'm going to pause here and take a breath in and out. Maybe I even sigh. Sighing is very relaxing. Then I'll inhale back up and I'll exhale as I go to the opposite side. And take a breath here. We'll do that one more time. Inhale it up. Exhale, switch. One breath here. and then inhale back up, and exhale, switch again. One full breath. Nice, and then bring it on back. We're going to bring those feet back in. I'm going to stretch my right foot straight out. So again, we might be opposite, but my foot is flexed up to the ceiling. So it's that dorsiflexion there. I'm just going to slowly take a nice stretch forward. So it's not a rounding forward though. If I turn to the side, you're going to stay straight on wherever you are. I wouldn't advise turning sideways. I might fall off my chair here. But the point is, I don't want you to be rounding down. I want you to keep your nice flat back and lean forward. So you're getting that hamstring stretch here. I'm just taking a few breaths there. So when we hold our poses and we take those nice deep breaths, we're actually gaining flexibility. And so if you can go farther, keeping your flat back, you're welcome to. But it doesn't really take all that much, and it doesn't have to be your fullest, deepest if this is your first time practicing chair yoga or first time practicing today. All right. And then gently come back up. And we're going to bring that knee, so it's my right knee, in towards the chest. So towards the chest doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come to your chest, or if you're very flexible, it might come out towards your arm. But just draw it in. So maybe your hands are around your knee, maybe it's around your ankle. You want to keep those shoulders rolling back and down. You want to keep lengthening up so I'm not rounding back into my chair. And just breathe here. Good. I'm going to take that right ankle. If it's comfortable for you, you're going to take your ankle onto your left thigh. So that's going to open up your right hip. If that's not comfortable, you can always stretch the leg out and you'll find that your ankle will come down lower. So finding a place that's right for you. Make sure you take a nice big full inhale. And then go ahead and keep that flat back as you exhale over, and then breathe in and out naturally but deeply at your pace. It feels good to go a little farther. Just relax into it. So the beautiful thing about chair yoga is unless you're turning right, left, and leaning on your chair in different ways, like I am to appease the camera, there's nowhere for you to fall. So you can really relax into a pose. So now on the next exhale, if it feels good to round forward, you can relax all the way down. Just let that hip open up. We store a lot of emotion in the hips. Just letting it open. Of course, honoring anything that's going on with you. And 2 more breaths here. And then gently round your way up. And release. Give it a little shaky out. So one more thing I should say about that is, I'm assuming most of you practicing already know this, or you have a pretty healthy, or mostly healthy upper spine. But if you do have osteoporosis, when I say round up, for your case, then you're already rounded, so try not to round up. Okay, just one point that I like to make. So now we'll flex that left foot out. You're going to feel the calf, the hamstring all stretching. Take a nice big inhale in. And as you exhale, that flat back fold, stretching it out. Maybe even turn the corners of the lips up and smile. They say it takes less muscles to turn the lips up than it does to frown, and it actually tricks your biology. Smiling can actually make you happy even when you're not. We did that one on laughter yoga, and I was cracking up. It's so funny. Maybe you're deepening a little here. If it does become very comfortable to round it down, exhale and round it down. And then you're going to either roll up on the inhale or flat back up if you have that already rounded spine. Good. And then gently bring the knee or the thigh in. Maybe it's down lower, maybe it's up higher, wherever it is. This is perfectly acceptable. No way for you to do this wrong. You're just doing what feels right to your body. And then we're going to cross that ankle over. Remember, if that's too high up, then just lower it down. It's opening up the hip. So finding where is good for you and then moving into it gently, because one side is usually a lot tighter than the other. It's very interesting. So an inhale, and then on the exhale, that slow descent. Just breathing into it. So allowing anything to come up, anything to be. So you want to move kind of on a hip opener to your edge as long as you don't have an injury. But you don't want to be in pain. So when it starts to feel like, ooh, this is my edge, you want to take a few deep breaths there. If you feel any pain, then obviously you want to come out. If it becomes comfortable and you want to fold a little bit, feel free to do so. Make it your own practice. And we're going to come all the way back up. Release it. Maybe you give it a little shake, shake, shake. Woo! Good work. All right. And so let's wrap our right ankle all the way around. So maybe it's binding around below. You're going to lift up in your core. So this is stretching your abs. So your right leg, if your right leg like mine is on top, then your left arm is going to come on top. If you have any shoulder injuries, you're kind of going to give yourself a hug. Otherwise, you're going to reach kind of into this crisscross with the legs, with the arms as well. So maybe the hands don't bind all the way. Maybe they do. You're going to draw those shoulders back and down. So you're kind of aligning your elbows, your wrists, your navel, your sternum. So it's called eagle pose. You're going to lift those elbows up so you feel a really big stretch in the shoulder blades. And just take a few breaths there. It's amazing how much you can feel just doing this, even in a chair and those shoulder blades. I carry the weight of the world around on my shoulders, so sometimes it's so funny. It's like, ah. All right, and then maybe you rotate those elbows around a couple times. And then go opposite way. Inhale them up even more. And then exhale and very gently bring the arms up and release the leg. You're going to cross your left leg over. So if the left ankle doesn't tuck behind, that's fine. You can just have your legs crossed. So since the left leg is on top, we're going to bring our right arm on top. Again, shoulder injuries, we'll just have the elbows stacked. Otherwise, you can wrap. Maybe the hands are like this. If it's possible, then you really aim for the palms to come somewhat together. And draw the shoulders back and down, aligning all of the major joints there. And then lift those elbows up and take those nice deep breaths with the shoulder blades. This is like that. If you've ever just like have you lie in your stomach and they push down on your back. Snap, snap, snap. Does that to me sometimes. And then bring them up even higher. Maybe you circle them around a couple times. If you do so, circle the opposite as well. And then lift them up as high as they go. Take 2 breaths. Unwind all the way around, nice and gentle and slow. 2 times. Getting those working. And then bring one arm on top and give yourself a big squeeze hug. There goes up, pop, pop. The opposite arm. So now go ahead and scoot back towards the back of your chair. And you're going to lift the right arm up first. And take your left hand either to the side of the chair, wherever's comfortable. So your right arm's going to twist you behind the back of the chair, or wherever it works for you, really. I use the top of the chair. So you're going to even off those shoulders and keep both hips forward. And then take a big inhale. On your exhale, twist towards the back of your chair or your couch, whatever it is. Take another inhale, lengthen, and then exhale and maybe twist a little more. And one more time. Nice big inhale. Exhale, twist. And then slowly come back to the center. I like to kind of do a cat-cow, so that round and arch in the middle, just to see, I'm still popping, see what's happening. And then we're going to take our left arm behind as we inhale our right up and twist. So even off those shoulders, inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Again, inhale, exhale, one more. And then slowly come back. So that's like wrenching everything out of the lymph and all that toxic stuff coming out, loosening it all up. All right. So from here, I'm going to slide the chair over a little bit. You can actually do a warrior two, where your right knee is bent. Again, the knee is over the ankle, and the left leg is straight back, but you're seated on the chair, so you have that nice support. So we do want to get that 90 degree. We want our thigh to be parallel to the floor. So you can get into a very, very deep warrior two. Even if you do it standing all the time, you can really feel where you're at. You're going to tuck your pelvis under, press into your left pinky toe. Your arms come out to each side, and your gaze goes over that right middle finger. You're going to take some nice deep breaths. So you're pressing down into your feet. You're not just sitting back. So you're activating all those muscles, but you're still using the chair. So those nice deep breaths here. And one more. So the left leg's in back. I'm going to let my left arm touch my left leg. I'm going to spin my right palm up and inhale as I lean back into that, sometimes called peaceful or reverse warrior. Really drawing my belly up and in so I get that big stretch in my rib cage, opening up my lungs even more. And then bring it back up. I'm going to bend our right elbow. Place the right elbow onto the right thigh, and the left arm can come up, or it can actually go over. If it's going over, I don't want you to come forward. I want you to think about opening the rib cage up, opening your heart up towards the ceiling. And just breathe here. This is our side angle. Good. One more breath. And then on your next inhale, bring it up and gently spin both legs out. So now you're going to turn them out to whatever is comfortable for you. So we're in a goddess pose, but think about pressing. I'm going to press back, pressing my inner thighs open and back. Maybe I even do it with my hands a little bit, but without rounding. So I'm really feeling my inner thighs, my hip flexors. I'm just going to take a few breaths here. And one more. And then gently come back out of that. We're going to switch sides, coming into that warrior two. So my right leg is in the back. My toes point towards you. My left toes point straight out in front of me. So my hips square off towards you. My arms come straight out. I make sure that my left knee, inner thigh are pushing out and back, pressing into the pinky toe side of the back foot, the whole left foot and front foot. That one's working. My gaze is over my front, middle, left finger. Breathing here. Activating all the muscles of the legs, lifting up in my core. Nice. And then on an inhale, the right arm goes back, the left palm flips, and you're reversing your warrior. Breathing here. Again, opening up as much as you can. And bring it back to your warrior two. And we're going to take that left front arm into our side angle, stretching the right rib cage. Remember not to come forward, but to open your heart up. Breathing here. Activating your core. That's your power center, but using your power to open up to the world with love. And then gently come back up. And release out of that. Maybe give your legs a little shake. So I'll teach you how to do a couple different ways of sun salutations using the chair. So we want to come to our standing or mountain pose. Your palms be forward. Your feet can be hip distance apart. And then inhale your hands up to rise, to touch. Look upwards. On an exhale, come into a nice flat back here. So if you have a deeper one, you can kind of come a little bit lower, but keep your back flat. Lift your belly up and in. So this is kind of your forward fold as well as your downward facing dog, right? And then let yourself round down. And then again, inhale, flat back. And exhale and around, stretching out the backs of the legs nicely here. And go ahead and toe heel your feet all the way together. You're going to bend the knees, but put the weight into the heels and come up into a chair pose without using the chair. So it looks like you're seated in the chair without the chair. Arms can be up or hands in prayer position at the chest. And just breathe. Sink down a little deeper. And then fold onto the chair on your next exhale. Maybe you walk the fold out here. Good, good, good. And then bend the knees and inhale it all the way up. Maybe you add a little back bend if that feels good. And bring the hands down. So if you're an active yogi, you could be doing that deeper and deeper. But for simplicity, we're just going to do a couple little things today. So then I'm going to turn my chair around for a balance. And so if you're very unsteady, you might use the back of the chair with both hands, like this, so that you can see what I'm doing. Or if you wanted to practice just a little bit with the chair, you'd have one hand. So I have my left hand on the chair. My left foot is down. I want to feel all four corners of my left foot. I'm going to lift my right foot up. So tree pose, Vrksasana. You can have your toes down, or you can have it at the ankle. You can even lift it up higher. If you're doing it, make sure your foot that's lifted is not next to your standing leg knee. That's not good for your knee. And then just feel your roots grounding you down as you lift up, and maybe let that arm flower up. You can test your balance if it feels good to you. But I recommend in chair yoga keeping the one hand at least close to the chair so that you have that rootedness, that sense of stability. This is also a nice place to kind of play with the gaze, though, when you have one hand or two hands on the chair. So normally our drishti is out in front of us in a tree pose, but we can play with lifting the drishti, the gaze, opening the heart, and seeing how that changes things, change of perspective. And then shake it all out. So obviously, you could just turn to the opposite side. Since I want to not turn my back to you, I'm going to turn the chair to the opposite side. And then we'll do that tree pose here. So remember, tree pose can be down low at the ankle, or you want to bring it up to the thigh so it's not at my knee. And all the muscles in the standing leg are engaged. The foot presses against the leg, and the leg presses against the foot. So yoga is about a lot of opposition. And then I'm rooting down, but lifting up. So you're really engaging the pelvic floor, the bandhas, if you know what they are. You're lifting up in your pelvic floor and your stomach, lengthening it up as you ground down. Again, you're opening up to the world with love, but holding your strength. And then releasing out, giving it a little shake out. Nice. And so, using the chair on the back, you can get into a kind of a deeper kind of downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. So you can always put your hands down a little lower if that works for you. And then just walk it all out. Lifting one. So your heels don't even have to come to the ground. Mine easily do from years of doing this, but you want to feel that stretch in the backs of the legs. So you want your back to be flatter. That's more important than how low your heels are. But it usually does feel good to kind of lower one as far as it goes and then the other. And then step one of those feet forward. I'm going to use my right. Turn your left foot out about 45 degrees and keep both of your hips facing that chair in front of you. So you can keep your hands on the chair, or if you like, you can lift your arms up into that warrior one and take a few breaths here. Deepening, stretching it all out. Strong as a warrior. And then step the right foot in and shake it out. And then step the opposite foot back. So my right foot's going back, turned out 45 degrees. My hips square off to the chair. Everything's working. The arms can come up, one or two. I'm just breathing. And then step it forward and shake it all out. All right. So we'll come back to our comfy seat here on our chairs. Now we're going to spread our legs. Don't want to knock over our music. To whatever's comfortable for you. And just begin to round your way down and just release. Maybe dangle. You can ragdoll your way side to side. And take a few breaths, just enjoying. Maybe you shake your head no, nod it yes. Giving that neck some love. If you need a little more, you can lift one arm and gaze up. And then switch it out. And then coming back down. We're going to come back up and out. Do a couple more of those cat-cows. Move anything that feels good to you. Shake it all out. In fact, take a nice big inhale and go, ha! So if you want, you can even stick out your tongue. It's actually a pose. It's called lion's breath. And go, ha! Big inhale, ha! Just release anything you no longer need. That's right. And then closing the eyes and just taking a moment to sense into any shifts. Notice what you notice. See if you feel a little lighter. If there's any part of your body that needs a little more love, if your attitude or your physicality has changed in any way. And then gently coming back to the room. Bringing the hands together. Thumbs come into the breastbone. And I'm going to say namaste. Thank you all so much. Namaste means the light in my heart shines in the light in yours and vice versa. So thank you all so much for being here. I'll put the rest of the information up at the end. And please, love to hear from you all. So again, the website is www.unwindthemind.biz. HypnoYoga Therapies is our meetup group. We're here in Tampa. And I hope to see you all soon, either online or in person. Have a thankful Thursday.